Yeah. I grew up to Jason and Sam. Jason and Sam so much. Made me a sim. Yeah. Like, she thinks that I'm cheating, man, na my cheat. Suckers repeating, man, na my cheat. Ops could be bleeding, man, na my cheat. Constantly grieving, man, na my cheat. Still pain and feelings, man, na my cheat. Actually scheming, man, na my cheat. Blessings receiving, man, na my cheat. You gonna lose, I'll na my cheat. Na my cheat. I put it straight, na my cheat. Make no mistake, na my cheat. Bum on my cheek, span on my corner, na my cheek. Work, na my cheat. Get to the door, na my cheat. Bake on the stove, na my cheat. Make sure they real, na my cheat. Make sure they real, hey. Cause sometimes they fake on my cheat. We already know that my life is a struggle. The way that I'm living been burst in my bubble. I feel like I'm double, I'm in trouble for all the things that I did in the rubble. Have no excuse cause been killing on my cheat. Don't wanna
sanibonani bafiki lapha emakhaya. Sathemba ukuthi nisasiphethe kahle. Ngiyaphileka akukho kubi. Mina ngegama nguSandile Zakhela Umuzi wakwaBiyela. Better known as OG Wentini because I talk my shit. Professionally known as Uzek Biela or Mazambani because I flip potatoes for a living. Now, I'm a original founder of Chusek Media, and you are now watching Chusek Media Presents Machita Monday. I'm also like a co-founder of Machita Monday. So Machita Monday is about creating a safe space for the chance to get to engage on social issues that directly affect us as young black men in their modern day society. We are living in times where tradition and cultural norms are no longer considered as traditional and as normal anymore, and that kind of create a gap in which masculine issues are not discussed and are not being explored, which causes a delay on masculine studies. So the formulation of Imachita Monday was basically about bringing back to what is a gent and what is a gent assessed, what qualities do we assess a gents by, and what makes you a real one, and if ever we can get to help each other with the issues that we engage on a day-to-day basis. So basically bafethu ungoxela nje ngeMachita Monday is what we're going to be doing on this video, and to tell you guys like how far the progress we've made ever since the session started. The session that you're watching now was our 14th session, which means we've been having the sessions for 14 weeks straight because we meet every Monday. We engage on different topics. I'm going to touch on the topics that we engage on every time we meet, but this is to get you guys up to speed and to give the audience a broader view and a broader perspective of what the session's about, because I've been getting requests to do something like this for a while now. So this is me finally taking those requests into account and giving the viewers what they've been wanting and waiting for all this time. So you guys sit back and let me take care of you. I'm going to break down what these sessions are all about, especially to the Basadis, they think that we're getting together to discuss, you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy and get to figure out exactly what the sessions is about, so that we get rid of this social misconception of saying that we're just plotting here and just getting together to teach each other how to be douchebags. Bahlali, so before Safe, don't forget to do the right thing, man. Hit that subscribe, like, share this thing. You know how we're doing it. Information is useless if you don't share it. So to start off, like my explanation, Bafit. So I didn't just wake up in the morning and decided to feed this shy Machita Monday is no. I had to do my research before I could get chance to sit down and start talking about these things. So on the research that I was doing, I was mainly focused on masculinity as a concept or as a study. So Basadi, women, females, okay, it's not females, it's women. Yeah, women have this special skill and this undying talent of making everything about them, right? So the concept of masculinity came from a study that was ran by women. So what had happened is, on the second wave of feminism, feminine liberations like movements have got so much information about the body structure of a woman that they knew everything there was to know about a woman. Yeah, it's hard. But then the problem with that was that there was this chance that they knew nothing about. And at the time, women were going through oppression by the gents. So the study of masculinity and trying to understand masculinity was not based off the study of trying to understand a man's body as it was with this like study of understanding a female body. It was a matter of understanding why men behave the way they do, which is hurting women, victimizing women, and oppressing women. So the whole study came from that dying need to understand a mental state of a majida as to why they get to abuse and why they get to oppress. So the study was done by women in attempt to understand gents, of which I think was the greatest and the biggest mistake as to modern day masculinity, because now we're in a masculinity crisis now as to whereby, especially as black men, everything that makes me a gent is considered toxic. You see, even the whole concept of toxic masculinity. I was first diagnosed by toxic masculinity by a woman, of which I didn't know what she was talking about at the time. But going to do my research, I was like, no, bro, like I'm just being masculine. Ain't nothing toxic about that. Yeah, bro. So I think the first mistake that was made by humans was allowing for masculinity studies to be feathered, developed, and initiated by Basadis. Now, I respect them for discovering the need for the study to happen. But there's only so much that they can explain. There's only so much that they can do, of which I think not as much as we didn't do our part in our end, like in those times, into finding out exactly what masculinity is, which is why everything that's published now based off masculinity is rather toxic and not really focused on what the concept of masculinity or the positive aspects of masculinity. Think about this in this instant. I was raised in a single mother household. I thought my father was not absent all my life. My father and my mom's got married when they had my little sister, and then they split when second sister was born. So that created me, or that led to me growing up in a female dominated house, I mean women dominated household, whereby there was my moms and my two little sisters. So now my mom did an impeccable job, bro. I won't lie to you. My mother did a very amazing job, and I love her forever for that. But there's some things that my mom shouldn't have to teach me, because they're my father's responsibilities and role to teach me. Things like being a man, what type of man I am. Because my father comes from a long line of men. My mother only met my pops at the certain point of his life where he was ready to get married, where he was ready for a relationship. Everything that happened before that, she has no clue and no information about. And everything that happened before their collusion, before they met, is very important to me as a man that's going to continue the legacy of my lifeline. And this is something that my mom is not qualified to teach me on. Now, me growing up under my mom's authority and my mother's definition of what a real man is, she's just trying to fix my father's mistakes through me, of which is not a wrong thing, because I do believe it made me a better man. You taught, but now I'm taught how to be a man based off my father's mistakes, which means my need to impress my moms is more important than my need to be masculine or my need to study what masculinity is. Now, this is a mistake that gents make. I don't want to put this on women, because they do their end, they do their best, of which they shouldn't even have to. They shouldn't be put in position of raising men, because it's not their job, it's not their responsibilities. And I'm a firm believer of gender roles. If gender roles ever exist, it shouldn't be the responsibility of a mother to teach a son how to be a man. It shouldn't be responsibility of a father to teach a daughter how to be a woman. Not unless obviously it happened uncertainly in a matter of like unfortunate losing or death. If they death visit us, then it's understandable. But still, even in that instant, Conal is saying it takes a village to raise a child. In the instant of it death, the sisters of their mother would then step in for the daughter to teach her how to be a woman. In the instant of it death on the father, the uncles and the Abu Babu Mngane and Abu Babu Mkhulu would then step in to come and teach me in the instant of how a man is supposed to be. I don't even know how to perform in Belego for my daughter when she get born, because my mom's was not born Gabriela. She was married to the Biela clan. She don't know 100% customs of what the Biela has to do or how to welcome a Biela into the family. Into the case that if I was to get a child today, it will be a crisis, because I would not know the specific traditional ways of introducing the child to the Biela lifelong clan. It's all I didn't think Jela on. So the study of masculinity, now it was based off that dog. Yeah, it's all. So you can already think of the disadvantages and the backlashes and the misconceptions of masculinity if it's not coming from masculine figures. Not saying that what they did was wrong. I mean, they identified the need for masculinity to be studied, of which I love that very much and I respect that very much about our women. But now we're at the point whereby if we as the gents don't define what masculinity actually is, we cease into existence, Buffett. Young Todd. I don't know if gents realize that we're at the war of masculinity survival in this generation, in the next generation. This is the last generation. We either get to define the authentic conception and meaning of masculinity, or masculinity doesn't survive this war at all. So the dire need of me creating Machita Monday came from that discovery. We're actually not the narrator of our own stories. We're not the narrator of our own narrative. Yeah, it's all already. And that creates a problem, because already Nazis are much like this new generation with simps. I'll say it with my chest, bro. Like, this generation is full of simps. This is a simp generation. The highest level of simps mankind ever had is this generation. And unless we want our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren to be bigger simps than we are, we need to do something. Gents, we need to stand up, young child. And we're not going to do this alone. We don't live in a community full of gents. We live in a community full of, like, both women and men. So us going away, trying to figure out what a man is, and this Majita Monday thing, and this initiative, and this conference is not even about having or declaring war or battle on feminism, on feminine energies or everything. It's just about becoming better men. Not for ourselves only, but for ourselves, for our women, for our children, for society at large. Because we can't survive. Humanity cannot survive this war between women and men. We need to find a common ground and a common stand whereby we can say, okay, Buffett, this is where we stand. This is where humanity is supposed to be. This is where our children and our great-grandchildren are going to be born into. And until we get to that, Buffett, the need for these sessions will keep getting better and better and better. Or greater, I should say greater. They'll keep getting greater and greater and greater and greater.